ban super crazy, please.
All right, what's up, boys and girls? So, this human piece of garbage has been getting up on his show every day for the last month and a half, and he's been saying all kinds of things about his now ex-wife, April. He's also been trashing Nick Rekieta and his wife as well. And just for the record, yeah, they're all degenerate pieces of trash. But now that a 2-year-old restraining order and accusations of domestic violence about Aaron have come out, well, now it's time to turn the page and
now we can move forward positively, right?
April's going through a tough time right now, and I think we should leave all that alone. I think we should leave all that alone and just be done with all that. We've discussed it. When the body cam shit comes out or if there's news, we can talk about it, but we can be done with all that because she's going through it right now. She doesn't need this shit. I wouldn't say I don't need this shit. I mean, it's not that awful, not that dreadful. I mean, obviously, I addressed it now. It's fine. But, like, nobody needs this shit. So I think we can lay off. God bless her. I hope she's doing well. I hope she makes all the right decisions and, you know, everything gets back on track and this terrible year she's had improves. I really do hope that. I will say it's no longer any of my concern, so I should treat it as though it's none of my concern and mean that. So I think we can be done with that for a while.
we should leave all that alone. Who the fuck is we? Last time I checked, I didn't get arrested with the Rekietas for a bunch of coke. And also the last time I checked, I wasn't accused of domestic violence towards your wife. But yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. We should all just leave her alone now. And it's pretty coincidental that you all of a sudden feel this way. I mean, all it takes is one statement from April that you really were abusing her, and all of this shit will come crashing down. But he's not worried about that, guys, even though he's been saying all kinds of crazy shit about her. And trust me, I'm gonna show you that later in the video. He knows that if April was there right now, she'd agree with everything he says.
Look, again, I have to be careful with how I say this. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there. And naturally, I'm not going to agree with everything that's in there. April didn't agree with everything that's in there. I will say this, no matter how much April and I dislike each other at this point, and we do, I do wish she was here to talk about this one. Because one thing I think her and I would still be lockstep on this issue. Because like I said, we've discussed it before.
Well, that makes me feel a whole lot better, Aaron. The fact that you can speak for your ex-wife and you know exactly what she would say, especially since these allegations claim that you headbutted and choked her. But no worries, guys, because they would both be lockstep in denying those accusations. So let's shoot ahead to the next day. And in typical DSP fashion, once all the good Samaritans come out to investigate, now it's time to start banning people, turning the comments off and shutting the whole thing down. Now this shocks me.
Again, they want to call me whatever. Mods, YouTube chat, get rid of them. Cast them out. We don't need them. But I asked my 10-year-old, how you doing? She goes, I miss April sometimes. You know, this is the one who cut April's pictures out of
the one who was very, very upset about April.
Yeah.
The one who had the most of a bond with her.
Yeah. And she said when she was good and she was around, she would take me shopping. We would go places together. And I really liked it. And I'll miss that. And we hugged, and it was nice. And I said, you know, honey, I miss her too. You know? And that shit yesterday, man, that was unfortunate. It was from 2.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's not valid. It didn't happen that way. And the people who know me know that, and the people who know her know that. So that letter from my daughter inspired me to say, just cut these people loose. Fuck these vultures who are trying to kill you. Fuck these vultures who don't care about you, who don't care about the truth, who don't care about anything. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, having their fun on the internet, and having their fun on the internet is playing this game where they pretend to give a shit about someone they've said horrible things about for the last year and whose stated goal was to ruin her life and wreck her life and break her. And they did. And they did. As all of us around her tried to help, these people fucking broke her down with incessant harassment. They abused her. 100% those people abused her. Now they want to come and try to project on me and pretend that I did because of a 2.5-year-old text after a terrible fight. Fuck these people. They're monsters.
Now remember that part for later. Everyone else is the monster that ruined her life. because I promise you that's going to come back up. I also love the part about everyone else harassing her, being pieces of shit, and not caring about the truth. You mean like when people were saying y'all were swinging with the Rekietahs, doing drugs and all kinds of degenerate shit? Meanwhile, you were sitting there lying about it the whole time? Is that your definition of not caring about the truth? I mean, what a complete 180. Because before these documents came out, you were pretty much calling her a whore every day. But now that your feet are being held to the fire, all of a sudden, you don't want to talk about it. Well, that seems pretty Shawn Michaels to me. Because you've been telling Nick, his wife, and your ex-wife that they needed to come clean and admit to everything.
After being placed out of the home, the children were subject to hair follicle drug testing. All of the children, except for blank, tested negative. Blank tested positive for cocaine at a level of over 5,000 with a cutoff of 500.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means, but the fact that there was any fucking anything in there.
The child should not be testing positive for fucking.
You know what probably fucking happened? You know what's fucking disgusting? One of the parents probably did one of these and then kissed the fucking kid on the head or something like that. Fucking pigs. Fucking pigs, every last cock-sucking one of you. All three of you. I don't have time to read this whole thing on the air, but we can talk about this tomorrow. We can fucking talk about this tomorrow. We can fucking talk about it. And if you go watch that piece of shit stream on YouTube or Rumble tonight, you fucking ask him nothing but this. Ask him nothing but this fucking thing. The fucking Chips hearing, where there was a goddamn fucking follicle test. And one of the kids didn't test negative.
So let me get this straight. You want Nick to stream, and you want Good Samaritans to flood his chat and pester him about those documents until he admits to everything. But as soon as that happened to you, you put your little Hitler hat on, like DSP, and started banning people and turned off your fucking comments. I wonder why only stupid, low IQ people believe you, Aaron. Meanwhile, anybody with a functioning brain can see what kind of manipulative piece of shit you are. Oh, and by the way, did you catch him calling his ex-wife a fucking pig? Let's see what else he has to say about her.
I've been on such a journey with my feelings about these individuals. Can we bring up fucking April's Twitter picture again? Because now I'm really fucking mad at that picture. Are you worried that people want to see you this way? Oh, make sure I make a sexy pose. Hey, live-in nanny, one of the kids had fucking coke in their hair follicle test. God damn it, have some fucking shame. Oh, it's my fault, right? That your guys' life is all fucked up? Take some fucking responsibility for once. I'm ashamed that I was ever associated with any of you. God damn it. Oh, aren't I fucking sexy? How's my harlot pose? One of the kids you say that you love, that you were supposed to take care of, had a fucking positive cocaine hair follicle test. When the fuck do you start taking responsibility for yourself? Any of you.
Is that your definition of leaving her alone, Aaron? Remember, we're the ones that have been harassing her and abusing her and essentially drove her off the show. Hell, at one point he even says, oh, it's my fault, right? That your guy's life is all fucked up? Take some responsibility for once. I'm ashamed. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out what it is that we did. This guy's such a little lying weasel snake in the grass. But let's go over to the next clip. And remember the comment from earlier. Everyone else is the monster that ruined her life.
And I'll tell you why, Nick, in the time in it's no secret, it's no mystery, it's not an accident that from January to May he lost a shitload of weight and was inebriated more often. He had someone to do the fucking drugs with and hang out with him. He and April would hang out. She'd sit down there during that show. They'd come up during breaks. Sometimes they would do drugs. I saw it myself. He had someone to do it with. April, honey, sweetie. She always says, if you've ever loved me, why don't you stop talking about this? There's an old, April, you're a farm girl. There's an old saying, you can't stop a rooster from crowing once the sun's come up. April, the sun's up. Nick, the sun's up. We have to sing about this. This is what we did. This is unholy. This is bad. This is something we have to atone for. Nick, your appearance changed because you found a drug buddy. And you guys fucking ran it into the ground. It should be noted that in recent videos of the Imholtz, April has at times also appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out as well. This is what I've been trying to tell her. You can blame me all you want. You can say that I fucked you over, that I ruined your life. April, Nick, Kayla, everybody saw it. This wasn't a fucking secret. Everybody saw it. Everybody knew. I fucking told you guys it had gone too far. April, I told you you had a problem. You fucking screamed at me. You called me a monster. You said I was a bad guy. You said I was trying to ruin the fun. This makes me more angry.
You called me a monster. You called me a bad guy. And you said I ruined your life. Well, that's funny, Aaron, because that's exactly what you said everyone else did to her. He claims that April told him, if you ever loved me, you should stop talking about this. But apparently he can't, because they need to atone for everything. And once again, as soon as it's about him and he's facing the fire, he turns into DSP and shuts everything down. He then calls her Nick's drug buddy and said Nick would do his show, April would sit there and watch, they'd go on break, and sometimes they'd do drugs. He saw it himself. And the reason I'm repeating all this stuff is because remember how the video started. We need to leave her alone. It's time to move on. And he was damn near crying because he supposedly misses her so much. Now, we have one more clip to go, and I'm not even sure how to explain this one, but let's watch it and I'll try to afterwards.
Why do you think he was so threatened by you fucking his wife? Like, shouldn't he have been chill with it?
Those two are extremely codependent. And even though they're into, I think they were kind of bored with each other. And that's where April and I came along. And
was it accepted to have sex with her and vice versa? Like, was this like already okay, yeah, guys, I get to fuck her, you get to fuck her.
Let me take responsibility for something else.
Sure.
Well, April and I were on vacation in Las Vegas to watch the Vikings games and hang out with some friends.
Okay.
I did bring it up to her that I thought Kayla was very attractive. And my part of the degeneracy, my part of the weakness was it might be interesting to try this because we knew their reputation.
So he openly admits that he thought Nick's wife was attractive, that he thought it would be interesting to try this, which is swinging, and he even says at the end that he knew they had reservations about it. Now, this is just my speculation, but I 100% believe this is what happened. Aaron saw the way Nick looked at his wife, April, and in the back of his head, he thought, if I offer up my wife to Nick, that'll get me in his good graces. He'll come on to my crappy show, he'll invite me onto his show, and everything will skyrocket from there. The problem is, Nick wasn't doing 100K live streams anymore. Nick wasn't reading $20 or $50 super chats and above because there were so many, he couldn't read the smaller ones. That wasn't the case anymore. Nick was already looking like a shell of himself and falling apart, but Aaron didn't care about that. He just doesn't want to have to go back to rattling the can again and begging people to knock out his $300 goal every day. But the best part about this is, now that he's supposedly moving on and doesn't want to talk about it anymore, nobody's gonna fucking watch. And by the way, he doesn't even have his wife now that he can trot out there in her underwear to try and knock out that daily goal. Because just like DSP, Aaron, you did it to yourself, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Gret fucked.
Get fucked.